Now, bad news number 2, which is Netflix has won the bidding war for WB Discovery, and that's bad. But as we were talking about in previous episodes, they were the least bad option, which is saying something because this is bad. It was between them, Paramount, and Comcast. None of those were good options. But if we have to look, if you have to have cancer, hopefully it'll be one that you can, that can go, that you can live through. It's better to have, like, I don't know, breast cancer than pancreatic cancer, I suppose. It's all bad, but Netflix was the least bad because Paramount has all sorts of problems with being the fascist network, fascist media company. They're attempting to control as much media as they can because the right wing is terrible and rich. Comcast was better, but not by much. They're also a big evil. It's like three big evil empires. Which evil empire would you rather have?
Neither.
Yeah, I mean, neither's not an option. So you got to choose one. So Netflix was the least bad, which prompted a lot of like crying, what I would call crying. People talking about the end of the theatrical experience.
Oh yeah.
Folks,
this is the narrative that was created, or obviously created by these other companies. This is
I think it's a reasonable response because Netflix is notoriously don't give a shit about the theatrical experience.
Who does? People who don't go to the theater to watch it.
Well,
and then say like, "Oh, how did I miss that?"
Exactly. I mean,
nobody does. Nobody cares.
Things are different. Netflix is in a they're in a certain place. Their business model is streaming. It just is. So for them to be in charge of a theatrical distribution company is not a good idea. That's not great. But I tell you, I'll take them ruining cinema over Paramount ruining the political landscape of America even more than they already are. They already in the position of entirely fucking the political landscape of America because they own CBS, which is a major news organization, major TV organization, but they have a major news organization. They are explicitly going to be a propaganda arm for the Republican Party and Trump in particular. We know this for sure. So giving them control of CNN does not make things better. It makes things vastly worse. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're all anti-woke and anti-D, all that shit. Netflix is probably some of that too, but they're not so explicitly up the ass of Trump. You know what I'm saying? So, but people are like, oh, the theatrical experience. All right, well, Netflix is like, look, we'll keep the theatrical thing and everything. It's fine. You know, we can do that too. We can walk and chew gum at the same fucking time, man. It's fine. But then then the drama started. Because Paramount, they're mad about getting rejected. We talked about it last week about them being like, "Ooh, you know, this isn't fair," and whatever. It got worse. They're like, "All right, fine. If you guys don't want to take us, if you guys don't want to go on a date with us, we're gonna go talk to your parents and make you go on a date with us. They're gonna make you marry us." So they've said we're gonna do attempt a hostile takeover. Hostile takeover meaning because they were basically like, we offered so much more money than Netflix did. Why didn't you accept us? Yes, because that's the answer. The only thing that fucking matters is money. You would think in capitalism, in hyper-capitalism, yes, the only thing that matters is money. But it could be that David Zaslav just don't like you bitches. You ever thought about that? He's the CEO. Maybe he just don't like y'all. Maybe he's just like, fuck y'all. What's the Ellisons? Fuck y'all. I don't like you guys. He don't have to take your offer. But they're like, well, the shareholders might want more money, so we'll offer them. I want to say it was $3 more per share, is what they're trying to offer. So a hostile takeover, of course, being rather than negotiating directly with the board of directors and CEO and whatever to buy the thing. Instead, you just go outright say, I'm just going to buy 51% of the shares. And then I'll be in charge, right? And the way you do that is you offer a shit ton more per share than what would normally be normal. 51% of the people sell you their shares because they're going to make a windfall. You control the company. You can do whatever you want. And to add another wrinkle to this, and I think I said this when we were talking about it last week, Trump really wants Paramount to win because the Ellisons are up his ass, right? They're all pro-Trump. He wants them to win, so he's already. But his government is already saying it's going to be really hard for this to actually go through because they want Paramount to win. So it's already some shenanigans anyway. But he's also started making noise like, I don't think Netflix should have them. I think Paramount should. So the fucking fix is in. Paramount, look, the way this is going to play out, I think, is Netflix has said, we'll pay you $5 billion if we try to make this happen and it doesn't happen. There's a ton of barriers between them being Netflix and Warner Brothers and then Netflix with Warner Brothers. A ton of barriers. Besides, the U.S. government has to approve it. The shareholders have to approve it. There's international concerns. The European Union has to approve it. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that could get in the way of this. And if they don't work, they owe $5 billion to Warner Brothers. So I think what's going to happen is it's not going to work. They're going to pay $5 billion. It's almost $6 billion, actually. They're going to give them $5 billion. Then Paramount's going to come in and be like, all right, cool. We can do this now. And all of the roadblocks, at least on the United States side, are going to disappear magically. Because our government is run by a fucking mafia boss. And he's just going to suddenly all of the things that were in the way are suddenly going to be clear. But then the European Union has to weigh in. And notice also, the WGA is like, this is some bullshit. The DGA is like, this is some bullshit. The European Union is like, this is some bullshit. We're not going to let this happen. So, this is a fucking mess. That's all I'm saying. It's a big damn mess. And all because, and David Zaslav is like, he's just sitting there waiting. One way or another, I'm about to get paid. And I hate this. I hate that I have to know about any of this stuff. But the world's gonna get worse for us. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, sorry, is that a long way of saying this sucks?
Oh, these are the grown people that are in charge of the world.
Yeah, and they're lame as fuck.
They are so stupid and pathetic. I don't know. There is no good outcome in this. I don't think there is one. Who the fuck cares at this point?
I mean, we're screwed. That's what it is. But yeah.
No. Yeah, it's just from which side is the question.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Who was really happy? The Snyder Bros are like, oh, they're about to restore the Snyderverse. I swear to God.
Well, the poor fucks don't know that they are screwed too.
Well, they're like Netflix, because they've been like, Netflix buy the Snyderverse from Warner Brothers, which was never gonna fucking happen. It was always a stupid idea. Now they're acting like they predicted the future. No, bitch. You didn't predict the future. They're not gonna restore the Snyderverse. It is not happening. Like, y'all, I swear, y'all are the most delusional people in fandom. The most delusional. Why on earth would they invest in more Snyderverse shit? They don't even want to pay him to make more crap on Netflix. Rebel Moon's gone. No, all of his shit has been canceled on Netflix because it's garbage. But I like Zack Snyder well enough, but he's not coming back for this. They're not getting rid of James Gunn. Like, y'all, get over it. Move on.
And Paramount might.
No, even Paramount won't. They've even said everybody who wanted to buy Warner Brothers has explicitly said, we're leaving DC Studios alone because they're doing just fine. We don't need to fuck with them. The most that'll happen is, I think, the Ellisons will probably be like, that's kind of woke. I don't care for that. But that's it. But they're not gonna stop James Gunn for he's
Yeah,
doing.
but that still affects the creative staff a lot. If they're gonna like write suggestions regarding what you can and can't say, what you can and can't imply, and that's gonna happen. That's like under this government, that's definitely gonna happen eventually.
Yeah,
It's just a question of when, because that's how it starts. Always, it starts with small suggestions, with notes and commands, and then it turns into censorship.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the first time it happened.
This also, I mean, there's this also this.
And they're not gonna leave the DC studios alone.
No, they won't leave.
They're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna leave DC Comics alone. Like it's all. I mean, I just like there's no good. None of this is good. But I'm hoping. This is a very slim hope that somehow Netflix gets through the regulatory process. But I would prefer that nobody got it, because we don't need a big behemoth of a studio. We need multiple studios, because people don't ever think about this, but when Disney acquired Fox, you saw how many people got like fired because there was a lot of duplicate positions. People, two different people from different studios doing the same job. Once you combine them, one person's going to do that job, right? So why would you retain that? This is necessarily gonna involve a bunch of people losing their jobs. I don't understand why people think that this is a good idea. This is a horror. This is fucking bad. We need more studios, not fewer. And they were also talking about, Paramount was like, well, if we get them, we're committing to 30 theatrical releases a year. Sure, I believe you. This okay.
Oh,
like, because every time a studios merge, now their theatrical output, technically, it decreases, because two separate studios would have put out a bunch of stuff, right? But when they come together, they're going to basically combine their efforts, and they're going to reduce the amount of movies they actually put out. It's just bad. This is bad for the industry. It's bad for the movie industry. It's bad for theatrical. It's bad all the way around. None of these are good options. The Comcast for theatrical, I think Comcast is the best for theatrical. Netflix is best to keep the fascists at bay, and Paramount is just hell. So anyway, we'll check back and let you know how when the sky is falling, not if, when it's falling, and what's going to be the disposition of those of us who are getting rained on.